When it comes to determining personality type, it is often somewhat easy for people to see that they favor feeling over thinking, or vice versa, or intuition over sensing, or vice versa. But what can be more difficult is figuring out specifically which feeling or thinking or sensing or intuitive cognitive function you favor. Do you favor extroverted intuition or introverted? Now, understanding these cognitive functions and being able to determine whether or not you favor introverted sensing or extroverted sensing is a huge step toward properly identifying your personality type. But because that can be difficult to do at times, I think it is very helpful to try to understand the differences between what the extroverted functions are doing and what the introverted functions are doing. And it really comes down to this. Within any one realm, feeling, thinking, sensing, intuition, are you an explorer or are you an organizer? Now, let me explain what I mean by that. The introverted functions tend to want to organize their realm, the thinking realm, let's say. Whereas the extroverted functions tend to want to explore it a little bit more. So I want to take a look at each of the four realms, the thinking, feeling, sensing, intuition realms, and explain sort of what I see as I look at people who are using these different cognitive functions. So let's just start with intuition. Introverted intuition tends to want to narrow down on one philosophy. It wants to organize what it believes about the unseen world, the metaphysical world, and it also wants to organize a plan for how it will move forward into the future. Extroverted intuition tends to want to explore. It wants to go out there and experience the myriad of ideas that exist within the metaphysical world or the unseen world. And it also wants to explore the many possibilities for how it may move forward into the future. Introverted intuition wants to find one path. Extroverted intuition wants to keep its options open and explore many paths. When you go to sensing, introverted sensing tends to want to organize the physical world, and extroverted sensing wants to explore the physical world. Those who have high introverted sensing will tend to always want their physical world around them to be very structured and have everything in a very specific place. They want to organize that physical world. The extroverted sensing, especially if it's high, but regardless of where it is, will want to, rather than necessarily organize and make everything uniform in the physical world, would rather explore the physical world, go out and find everything that the physical world has to offer in the sensory department, so to speak. When you look at thinking, introverted thinking wants to organize thoughts, it wants to organize logic, it wants to create a framework for understanding. Whereas extroverted thinking is more interested in going out and exploring how to get things done, how to make things work. It's not so much focused on building one model that will help to make sense of and understand how everything works, but rather it wants to go get its hands dirty, go out there and explore the doing of things to see how it can get done and what it can get done without necessarily completely understanding all of the nuances of it. Introverted thinking, however, very concerned with the sort of organizing and building of logic and understanding, wants to create a structure and have it very well ordered and understandable. In the feeling world, introverted feeling wants to organize its emotions, organize its values, understand deeply and build upon that understanding what matters to it, what it cares about, and what it's going to really put its heart into. Extroverted feeling, on the other hand, is more interested in going out and exploring really the emotional world and the value world. It wants to go out and explore, how does this make this person feel, and how does that person feel about this? What do these people value, and what does that group of people value? It is very exploratory in its value judgments and exploratory in its emotional connections with other people. Introverted feeling, not so. It wants to go inward and stay within its own mind, its own bounds, to build a structure of introverted values and feeling judgments. Now, one of the problems that happens is in those introverted realms, we tend to latch on to our own personal value of whatever it is that we have built. We care very deeply about what we have organized and built. So if you have introverted intuition, you may care very deeply about that metaphysical, ideological structure that you have organized within your mind. And because of that, it hurts a lot more when that structure is attacked or when it is destroyed, when it is when it gets a chink in its armor, let's say, because you attach yourself to that metaphysical concept that you have built or that you have organized within your mind, and it's very personal to you because it's part of one of your inward focused cognitive functions. And so when it is attacked, it hurts very badly. Now, if you contrast that with the extroverted version of the same thing, extroverted intuition, an extroverted intuitive type can oftentimes throw out idea after idea after idea in the metaphysical world or in the philosophical or ideological world, or even in the, here are some ideas about how we may move forward in this situation. But they are just exploring ideas. They're sort of throwing ideas out. They're scattering ideas all around, but they're not necessarily deeply tied to any of them. So when an idea is rejected, it doesn't necessarily hurt very badly. And so it will be with all of the introverted versus extroverted functions. Where your introverted functions are building and organizing, you are taking those into your heart, really. You're caring more deeply about those. And if they are questioned or attacked or ridiculed, you will often feel much more emotional or inner pain because someone is attacking that. But where you are using an extroverted function, maybe extroverted feeling, your emotions, your feelings, your value judgments, you're able to move much more fluidly in those areas. And when you see that something that you value, let's say, is not necessarily valued by the masses, you're okay to let go of that and just move on with whatever is valued by the masses. With extroverted thinking, if you think you've got it figured out how to do something and someone comes along and shows you a better way, it doesn't hurt very badly that you scrap your old way of doing things because you had not organized, you had not spent a long amount of time organizing that way, or even pouring your own heart into figuring out how to do that thing. It doesn't hurt you. You haven't built very much structure in that area, and so you're able to just sweep it away and move on to the next thing. These are important differentiations between the introverted and the extroverted versions of functions within the same realm: thinking, feeling, sensing, intuition. And understanding these differences can help you to better understand not only your personality type, but more important than being able to say, oh, I'm an INTJ, more important than any of that is truly understanding who you are. What makes you work the way you work? What makes you think the way you think? Why do you feel that way? Why do you react that way? Why does one thing seem to hurt you so badly when someone attacks it or it doesn't go right? And other things you seem to be able to just let go of with ease and care very little about the fact that you may have put some effort into this, but now you just have to let it go. You will feel much more comfortable letting go of the things that are in your extroverted cognitive function realms, and you will cling much more tightly and care more deeply and be hurt more severely when those things within the introverted cognitive function realms do not work out or are attacked or ridiculed or something of that nature. I hope that you find this helpful. Do please give it a like. Please subscribe if you have not already. And if you would be interested, if you've been watching my videos, my channel, and you feel that you're benefiting from it, it would be a great privilege and a great help to me if you would consider going to the link in the description and making a financial contribution to what I'm doing here, which you can do through the Ko-fi website, which you would see in the link in the description below. Again, thank you so much for watching and have an awesome day. Bye now.